Boom, 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 boom. Take a look at these movies. Look me in the eyes and tell me you haven't seen any of them. You can't, because that would be a hate crime. This video is about a very important topic. The topic in question is a specific genre of movies, sports movies specifically, and why we all love them. So, stick around for completely unnecessary information that all it will do is probably, hopefully, put what you think about these things into words. Maybe then I will have done a service or something, or gave you a bit of a feel-good moment. Who knows? Begin. You know, there's something so therapeutic about watching these kinds of films. In some ways, it sets the mind right. They're feel-good, and I guess that's what they do, but they're also much more than that. Take boxing movies, for example. They usually have a very basic formula. Hero starts out from the bottom and builds his way to the top, while stumbling along the way. This is the basic format of any big budget movie, but I feel like it's not any more obvious than in boxing movies. Now let's take a movie like Southpaw, which changes things up a bit. Our hero starts the movie at the top, hits rock bottom after, and spoiler alert for this, his wife gets shot and dies, and he loses his daughter to child services, and then he has to work his way again from the bottom. We love to watch a regular old Joe pave their own way to get to success. Unlike superhero movies, in cases like these, it feels a lot more realistic. Achievable, I mean. It shows the highs and the lows, the determination and incredibly hard work that it takes to get to success. But it still shows you that it's achievable in movies like these. Especially boxing movies, where we're not talking about a team, we're talking about one main character. You see yourself in that character. There's something beautiful about it that I don't think I feel as strongly towards protagonists from other genres. This kind of story just feels like the perfect format for linear 3-act storytelling. It works wonders. Rocky, Creed, Warrior, while not a boxing movie, Cinderella Man, all of them. Boxing movies are cool is what I'm trying to say. How impactful am I? Right, guys? If we take a look at another example, in just about the complete opposite spectrum of sports movies, what I like to call team builders. This is the super, basically movies that are told from the perspective of coaches. Think Remember the Titans, Coach Carter, The Way Back, and most notably, Moneyball. This is harder to explain, but I think, I'm usually a pessimist by heart, but something about these things makes me feel like humans want to help each other. We don't want to stand on the sidelines and watch each other crumble. This is very cheesy, I know, but bear with me. You always see these coaches in these movies work so incredibly hard to help these kids achieve their dreams. Moneyball is of course exempt from this since it's more about professional players and the general manager. That movie is a whole different story and we'll get to it later. Back to topic. Seeing someone try to bring a whole group of people up like that, work with them through the highs and lows, and be on their side no matter what, it's nice. It's almost like a POV for these solo boxing movies. These feel more like you're in it, working together towards the same goal. It's truly inspiring. Coach Carter has some of the most motivational monologues I've ever seen in a movie. It's very dramatized a bit too much, but it works, man. That movie hits. Coach Carter's methods, which might have been a bit too egregious, worked. Maybe at a cost, but it's still cool to watch. The Way Back is a movie that works a bit differently, where both the coach and the players are trying to bring out the best in each other. The coach, who's a depressed alcoholic with a dead-end job and is still living in the past, gets another chance when he gets this job. And the players, who are students in one of the worst school arounds, need help. They help him and he helps them recover. Another one is King Richard, a movie where a father who's coaching his 2 daughters has to face the worst possible conditions to help bring a better life to his family and set up a good future for them. Moneyball is a whole different story. Now let me just say this first. Moneyball is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's just about my favorite performance from Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill, so I have some bias. But man, there's something about that movie. It is the weirdest experience ever. On the outside, it looks like a mundane and boring outlook on stats in baseball and how they're used to get better players. But the way these guys were able to use what were considered as weaklings as the advantages, it's different. One of my favorite scenes in this movie is just these staff members, along with Billy, sitting in a meeting. You look at these people and they're like the most boring looking old men. It feels like it's about to be the most boring scene ever. But the way Billy comes out with this stuff and how the scene plays out hits differently and works wonders you would have never expected at first glance.
He can't throw and he can't field, but what can he do? Oh, boy. Guys, Check your reports or I'm gonna point at Pete. He can get on base.
So he walks a lot.
He gets on base a lot, Rocco. Do I care if it's a walk or a hit?
To be honest, that's basically how the whole movie goes. I'm too dumb, I think, to dive into what makes this movie truly special, so let me just leave it at that. Man, even the tobacco chewing, especially from Brad Pitt, so cool. You know, the reason why the idea for this video popped in my head is because I realized that I'm not really a big fan of sports. I suck at basically any sport with a ball in it, and I don't really like them. Balls, that is. I don't watch football, basketball, or baseball. I've only recently got into boxing, but I've been a fan of boxing movies for years. I've been a fan of sports movies in general, also for years. And I wanted to figure it out, because apparently these movies aren't just tailored to sports fans. Exhibit A, me! It's one of my favorite feel-good genres. It's motivational, it's inspiring. You want to get up and do the work. Get motivated. It does get you motivated. Don't watch one of these stupid motivational YouTube videos. Watch Coach Carter. It's included in like half of them anyways. If you want to watch a video about Netflix, we all know how cool Netflix is right now, huh? Well, watch this video next if you agree. See ya.